Good day, YouTube. The topic of this video is, do I have bad days? The answer, just like everybody else, of course I have bad days. At my age, I try to limit those. And the reason is I've learned from the past as to what to do different when possible. I say it's more common for me to have a bad moment as opposed to a bad day overall. However, nobody is immune to having something happen in their life today or tomorrow where they're having a bad day, a really bad day. Nobody's immune from that. So what I try to do is I try to be proactive and limit what can happen to me. But there are things that I have no control over. Life happens to all of us. When I say a bad moment, let me say that I take the actions necessary to make things better for me, to make it where it's more predictable. But like I said, nobody has control of something outside of our control. What is a bad moment? For me, let's just say it is driving 82 miles to work and back each way, and you have a lot of crazy drivers out there at 5:40 in the morning or at 4:30 in the afternoon. That is just part of it. That's just the way it goes sometimes. One of the things that I've learned over time is not to give somebody else the power to either give me a bad day or a bad moment. So that takes, being deliberate about what I allow external factors to come into my life and mess up my moment or mess up my day. You have to be proactive. The other thing is planning. If you plan accordingly for your week, you should have more control of your moments in the sense that you know what's coming, what's right around the corner. When you don't have planning, you're surprised often. You're stressed out often. And that is not something that I want to be in. That's happened to me in the past and can still happen today, but it's something that I try to manage accordingly, where I know what's right around the corner. I know what I have to do for the week at work or at home, and it's like an agenda. I like agendas. I like planning. Those are good things. What about when you're having a bad moment or a bad day? How do you deal with that? There are positive ways to deal with that. How I deal with that is like this. If something is stressing me out, I'm going to want to get that off my chest and speak with someone. That could be, I speak to my wife, I speak to a good friend, I speak to someone who's going to listen to me, but at the same time say, hey, Hugo, do you know that you may want to look at it this way? Or you're right, or you're wrong. Somebody that's going to speak the truth. Venting, for me, that works. Another thing is working out. Exercise is good. Today is Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. My wife went to work. It's just me at the house. It's a day off. What am I going to do? I have to go get a haircut, and I want to go to some thrift shops. Completely off the subject, but lost my track of mind. Where was I going with this? Exercise. So my wife, here's where I was going. My wife said this morning, let's go for a walk. And we went on a walk through our community. It's about 1.5 miles, 1.5, maybe a little bit less, but it was beautiful. It's quiet. This is where we live. And it's just taking a moment to say, hey, you know what? Let's enjoy it. We went for a walk. Or you go to exercise. Or you vent when you have a bad day or you have a bad moment. But you have to make changes sometimes. We have to make changes in the sense that if something's not working, we have to try something different. And we have to be open to different things. Or we have to be open to change because change is part of life. So do I have bad days? Yes, here and there, not often overall, but like everybody else, I do have days where I'm just out of it, or I'm stressed out, or something's not going well at home or at work. That is part of life. So my best advice to anybody, to include myself, is go with the flow, make adjustments, talk to people who can help us. If you have somebody that you look up to and say, hey, he or she does it, and I want to be like them. That's what I do. I look at people, young and old, and I try to take something from people. whether it's somebody that I know or somebody just that I see, that I look up to, or somebody that I work with, and try to make it where my life is the best possible. Life is short. We don't know how long we're going to be here, so I'm at the point in my life where I want to maximize every day. Today is just a lazy day. It's a nice day, and that to me is perfect, a nice quiet day. Going out to dinner with my wife. My daughter is in town. She leaves tomorrow, so tomorrow morning her and I are going to hang out, and then she goes back to school, which is about 2.5 hours from us. So maximize each day. Another thing that I think about is, you've heard this expression before, I'm sure, pick your battles. I'm not really up for a debate often because my work or my life is busy in a good way. But if somebody says, hey, that house is purple, and somebody's saying, no, it's actually more of a red, no, it's purple, no, it's red, who cares? I tune out. I'm not trying to debate something insignificant like that. Now, of course, I'm going to speak up, and we should speak up as needed. But that's where I am in my life, where I have a vision for the next 6 months. I have a vision for the next year. I have a vision for this property. And there's always something to do, which is great. I try to maximize it. My wife and I have been in this house for 2 months. We had our first Thanksgiving here yesterday with friends. We have a sign that we put up. We have our 2 lights that weren't there, and a star. I'll show you that. It's completely, irrelevant to this video, but that's where I am. Is I want to work on this property. I want to rest. I want to go out to dinner with my wife and enjoy and maximize. Let me show you the sign that I'm talking about as I wrap up. This is the sign. Welcome to the farm. It's not really a farm, but we call it a farm. All the leaves, because it's fall, are gone. There's my precious car. We put these 2 lights right there 2 days ago. We put that star. In the spring and summer, it's going to be nice and green here in Colorado. And all those trees are going to have leaves. Do I have bad days? Yes. Not often, but I do have them just like everybody else. I have more bad moments, but I try to limit those and I try to do things different as needed. Hopefully this helps you, the younger you are, because when I was in my 20s, I didn't think the way I think now. When I was in my 30s, I made changes. When I was in my 20s, I made changes. And now I'm in my 40s, and I won't say I have it figured out, but I'll say this, that I make those adjustments to maximize each day, to limit the amounts of bad days or bad moments. And I hope you do the same as well. Have a great day.